So first of all, I would like to thank the Dave AI team here for having me here. It's a wonderful opportunity. And today, what I would do is give you a perspective about the trends in the automotive space, but not only share my perspective, but with this session, I would also want to interact with you all to understand and bust the myths here as well. So what you can actually expect out of this presentation are two things. One, try to give you an overview of software-defined vehicles and their trends. Two, what's the role of artificial intelligence in the dealership side or the value chain, specifically on the dealership side of things. Prior, in traditional ways or in traditional way of looking at vehicles, you would look at horsepower or torque as one of those key parameters, right? But now in terms of software-defined vehicles, things are totally different. Now, feature on demand. How is it that software-defined vehicles will help OEMs throughout the life cycle of the product? And that is an exceptional business case for OEMs to actually leverage upon. We are also seeing certain trends as well. One, I would want to highlight of how OEMs are also leveraging this. So one example here is how Tesla helped its customers in North America, specific to, I think back in 2018, there was a hurricane called Irma, and this was in the Florida zone, where all vehicles are in that path of hurricane. Tesla released a over-the-air update. And what that did was that gave them an extended battery range where they could move into a safe zone. So that is one way how OEMs are trying to provide features on demand and just to entice the customer in this case. In terms of the other way, how OEMs can actually leverage over-the-air updates as well is, now you're seeing BEV volumes actually at a top level where you're seeing a decline. But if you the recent news, Tesla has actually come up where they've dropped prices, right? And this is once Tesla does that, you see other OEMs also catch up on that. And how do you hold on to a customer as prices are dropping, and you want the customer in your kitty, right? They've recently come up with releasing the full self-driving kit, and they've offered that to their customers for free, and that's for a month, where they can actually experience that. And then you would eventually see the probability of experiencing those features and then deploying them. You may see a high stickiness in the out years, and this could also help OEMs as well. So those are the two things which I just wanted to highlight here of how actually OEMs are leveraging over-the-air updates. Here's an example for how Chinese OEMs are quickly catching up, and we know. So before I get on to the specifics, as you all know, in Game of Thrones, you have a saying, right? Winter is coming. Now, here I would say that the Chinese are already here, but we need to be really smart about how they are looking at the EV world, right? So I'll keep it quick here. What I want to really highlight is the vehicle architecture, right? You see upgrades in the vehicle architecture across the three iterations they've had. One trend on the electrical and electronic architecture as well, you're seeing a shift from distributed to domain-based to centralized. And centralized is the way going forward for which would enable software-defined vehicles. You're seeing also scaling up from in the battery side, from the module all the way up to the C2C, cell to chassis, which is a new ways, and there are just very few OEMs that are actually adopting that. Again, you're seeing standardization on the hardware, like I mentioned earlier. Subsystems are also need to get standardized. you're clearly seeing 8-in-1, integrated solutions for e-axles, which comes along with the DC-DC converter and the power, the inverters and the transmissions and the various other electrical subcomponents over there. You're seeing an upgrade there. Again, for software-defined vehicles, ADAS, cockpit features, and infotainment. These are the three areas where you can actually, sell features onto the customers as well. So these are just wanted to let you know about that. How have they done? They've all done that within 8 years, right? And this is something that we need to learn from them because these products are, they're vertically integrated in all the domains that they are actually projecting in the market. Okay, so now I move to a next phase in my presentation where I just want to, showcase AI specific to the dealership side of things, right? And here's a survey which I've actually picked up from CKD Global. CKD Global is a software SaaS-based solution provider for the dealer management solution. And what we've got from the 2023 survey is like they've actually scanned close to 200 dealers in North America. And clearly, 76% of all the dealers have seen a positive impact. Now, which are the departments that have significant impact? One, obviously, the number one being the service department, followed by the sales and the marketing and advertising. The point I want to raise here, moving on to the chart in the middle, where under the service category which is the area where AI is actually, being implemented or has more traction. So that would be the parts inventory predictor. Clearly, that's on the service side, followed by, also on the sales side as well. Sales forecasting is also another area where we are actually looking at it in terms of AI enablement. Predictive parts, again, trying to understand, the integration of OEM's platform with the dealers to understand what's the mean time to failure for each of these parts, and trying to assess which customer would come into the dealer at what time, and also keeping a right economic order quantity in these dealerships to service those vehicles are very important going forward. AI, virtual assistant in the service side of things as well. I know an AI startup, I think an Israeli-based startup, which I'm not able to actually recall the name, but where you get in the vehicle into the service station and they scan around the vehicle and quickly can identify which are the shortfalls within that vehicle for the technician to quickly come in and act upon that as well. So here's just food for thought of what this survey does. This could these are some insights that could also translate to other regions as well. So something to look at. Okay, so why car buying journey needs to be transformed? Now, this particular stat here says that 72% of the car buyers don't visit the dealership. Now, most of the research, even before buying a car, is happening online. This is an online game, and customers are well informed of their of what kind of features do they actually want to see even before actually they come and buy the car. So that's one. Two, they are looking at an immersive interactive experience where they want to actually look at features, try those features in a digital world, and then try to see if that is something that they can really go ahead and make that final purchase. And last but not the least is 80% of the car buyers are looking at how OEMs are positioning their websites, right? This is because the way the consumer mindset is that if your website is not that great, the same thought is in terms of the physical product as well. And now, in order to avoid that confusion there, you would want to have the kind of excellent experience in the digital world, replicating onto the excellent product which you've already developed. Last here, this is an interesting case study which came to light. This is again in North America, and we have a Mitsubishi Outlander looking at trying to position plug-in hybrids in North America, and the problem statement or the objective for the OEM was showcase product in a high-tech environment and provide an immersive experience. Now, obviously, what they've done is look at new partners as well. So they've actually partnered with Zero Light, and then you have Amazon, Meta, and AWS. So why is it that you may ask me that why I have actually AWS is also an Amazon company, but the way this particular OEM has gone about is that they've leveraged Amazon Live in showcasing their products and trying to position there as well. In terms of customer journey, you can clearly see that there are 3 pathways. One is the static image 2D configurators as well. And when you actually go, it's the game of where there is gamification. Now, in order to, we've all played our games, right? And where you've actually gone about, trying to move from one level to the other, you are actually rewarded as well. So this is a similar approach that's actually been taken up by the ecosystem partners supporting the OEM here. So where you at the first stage you have a 2D image configurator. Now they are there. You scale up them to an interactive 3D configurator. You scale up that. You move to a cinematic driving configurator as well. What are the stats? That's where the key lies. When you actually compare the outcome here, the interactive 3D versus the static 2D images, you've clearly seen that the call to action clicks have increased, multiplied by 3. Average spend time is also increased by 2 times, and you can clearly see the personalized leads as well have increased by 3. But what I really want to focus is on the level up experience that the customer is going to. So the next level from a 2D or an interactive 3D is the cinematic driving experience, and that's where the customer is looking out for those immersive experience which they want to really look at before they actually buy a car. Now, clearly you can see that when from the previous one, you're seeing the average spend time is also increased. You also have high increase rate of personalized leads, and the configuration also thereby increases as well, the number of configurations that you do on these platforms. In terms of the configurable websites as well, you are clearly seeing the average time that has actually gone in to 97%. Now you're seeing a 50-50 case, Britannia Crackjack case here, where personalized website leads have increased to 50%, and the number of configurations also have increased by 50%. But that clearly mentions that there is a high probability of converting these customers into a final sale. Now, what is the outcome, right? We've seen the stats here, but I think Mitsubishi Outlander, they did this exercise back in somewhere mid-2022. But if you see the production or the volume sales of how this whole solution has enabled them, in 2023, out of the total sales in North America for the Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid, approximately 8% of those are coming from here. So this is a clear example where how these digital enablement tools with AI are actually scaling up and also helping OEMs to look out for new opportunities as well. Now, lastly, what I just want to also highlight is that the hardware platform specific to, you call any systems or the platforms, the differentiation factor is narrowing. Now you can look at, what kind of features you had earlier on a mass market car versus a premium car. That thing is closing in. Now where's the next level of advancement or differentiating factor when actually an OEM is looking at managing several brands, right? Like for Maruti Suzuki, you also have the Nexa brand, which is slightly above as well. So in time to differentiate and position customers, you would definitely want to look at these kind of solutions which would scale up as well. Yeah, with that, I'd end my presentation.